And the majority of you that are watching are either someone that has their own business or someone that is like a freelancer or an agency, let's just write agency, that works with people like this that have their own business, right? And when someone has their own business, you basically have you're basically trying to solve a pain point, right? That someone else in your market has, right? So in this case, you can be like a company that sells cars, right? And the pain point of someone that's going to go to your business is someone that needs an affordable car, right? An affordable Kia, for example, an electric Kia, right? Or if you have some type of cream company, like a cosmetic company, you have things for eye care, for acne, right? People that have acne, that's their pain point. They want to get rid of that acne. Or they want some type of cleanser, right? They want to keep their skin clean. They want to keep their skin moist. Or if you're a SaaS company like Arval is, you might, want to help people in the e-commerce industry not have to manually write content, or you want to help different SEO agencies or different SaaS companies or even local businesses not have to write manual content. And so your pain point is gonna revolve around a specific product that you have, right? And this product revolves around different industries, right? So we have, for example, Arval was e-commerce, right? They had agencies, they had SaaS, and they had local businesses, right? So for all of these different industries that your specific product revolves around, you want to be able to create a sort of informational hub, or basically pump out a bunch of content that revolves around these different industries, right? So you want something with e-commerce, right? Let's say e-commerce is the first one, e-commerce. And for e-commerce, for example, you want to boost traffic, save time, increase sales. So we can go ahead and start with two of these. So for example, for e-commerce, we want to boost traffic or increase sales. And so with these things, what you can do is, instead of having to come up with new ideas, you can basically create templates for each one of these categories that have this main, USP or service, and this main category in their title and in their content, right? So this, for example, can be 10 ways to boost traffic for your e-com brand, right? So as we can see, we have boost and e-com. We can say like, why is it important to boost traffic for e-com? So again, we have these two keywords that are highlighted. So how boosting traffic for e-com drives sales. So again, another combination of these two keywords. And basically what I'm trying to say is that what you can do is you can generate content, a bunch of content. So think of tens or hundreds of pages with the title over here having these two keywords on the title, right? 1 and 2. And then again over here in this other one, we have a title 1 and 2, and you want to do that with the next one and the next one, and so on and so forth. And you can even go deeper into the category. So I was just showing you, the very surface categories, right? We had e-commerce and boost traffic, but if we go to Arval's blog, for example, you can see some good examples. We have top 10 best tools for SEO for startups in 2025, for startups, right? So startups, and and SEO would be these two keywords, I would say. Then we have over here WordPress SEO. We have 10 best SEO apps for Shopify, right? This is another product. So you can basically make a bunch of these different content posts based on like 2 or 3 keywords. And the great thing about doing this is that now we have AI, right? So we have these advanced AI tools. You can use, for example, like something like ChatGPT or Claude to write it for you, but that's gonna, it'll eventually, work, but it takes a lot of work. And eventually the good thing about doing this in today's world is that you can leverage AI to help you with this, right? So you don't have to manually do all of this. You can basically, what you can do is you can use some type of AI tool. You can technically use ChatGPT, but it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to basically make it tailored for your brand and have it really like an SEO expert. But I like to use a tool called Arval. I'm going to show you in a minute how I use it, and you can get started for free. You can generate three free articles, by the way. But basically inside of Arval, right, we can do the following. We have this assets panel. Sorry that I'm writing like diagonally like this, but we have this assets panel, right? And under this assets panel, you can basically insert your website as a knowledge hub. So assets basically is a knowledge hub, right? It's a knowledge hub. And what a knowledge hub is it's basically the brain of your AI, right? So we have a knowledge hub with a website, let's say with your YouTube channel, with your social media like LinkedIn, for example, or X or Instagram. What you can also do is you can even add like documents like Excel sheets or Word documents, stuff like that. And basically the whole point of this is so that the AI can basically understand, your brand identity, right? Your brand identity and how you talk, or how the brand's, voice is, how, if it's informal, if it's sarcastic, if it's funny, if it's super formal and scientific. The whole point is to understand the brand identity and to understand your whole, business model. And basically what you can do is, like I said, you can add a homepage right here. You can add a YouTube. If we click on add asset, we can see the different types of things that we can add as well. We can add PDFs, YouTube channel, web video files, audio files. And then once we have that, we can go ahead and normally the usual way how I do this is that I would go here to generate articles and click on SEO article. And what it does is it prompts me, it asks me for a specific keyword or set of keywords. But in this case, we want to create articles based on what we already have in our website. That's why we want to start off with this knowledge base and add our different assets. And then what we can do is, instead of generating an article like this, we can go to blog automation, go into our campaign where we have all of our different blogs that I've generated in the past. And then what we can do is go to article templates. And with the article templates, we can create a custom template to keep total control of the content of your article. And this is more of an advanced feature, so I would totally recommend starting off with the first way, which is just basically generating an article with some keywords. But we can, if you've done that, let's go here to create custom template, and then you can give it like a template name. So if we're gonna do a template for Arval, what we can do is like Arval, our Arval blog template. And then we have two main things here. We have this generation prompt and we have this enable outline, which I'm gonna select. And basically the generation prompt is like instructions that will affect the entire article, like it says over here. So you can basically see this as a type of chat interface, right? Like if you're talking to ChatGPT. And this one over here is going to be more of an actual outline of how it's going to look like. So you have more control of the heading text, of the paragraph text, of different H2s, different H3s that you want to have throughout the blog post. And we also have this thing over here that says variable. So in order to create or use variable, use the notation. In this case, we're going to be creating variables because I don't have any variables in my project. But what variables can mean, variables can be like these variables that you would see in the blog post. So if we go down to this specific website and look for, so we find their blog post and we can look for things that are like summer, post-summer skin tips, vitamin C can be a variable, exfoliation technique. So things that are related to your products, they can also be your products. So if you had, for example, I don't know, cars or something, you can add car one, car two, or if you had like a book, it can be like book one, book two. You can also put like category or something like that, or feature. In this case, we're just going to add like curly brackets. Let's put feature, feature one. Let's make sure to add these spaces here. Then we can say my company is called Arval and we want to prevent people from manually writing out blog posts. Don't mention our competitors, which are like abc.com and efjg.com, whatever. And then we can even say something like rhyme every second or every last word with shark, right? Say something stupid like that, but it's just a good example of what you can do, right? And then here what we can do is write down our headers. So in this case, we have, if we read over here, your article will be a one-to-one copy of your outline, except for AI instructions and variables. So to place an AI instruction, use a notation this, right? So we'd have to use this for an AI instruction. So basically, the AI, you write something here, and then the AI will generate something based on that instruction. So if I were to just go like this, if I were to set a hashtag, which by the way, if we put a hashtag, that means H1. If I put two hashtags, it's H2, 3 is H3, etc. You could put like the top, or comparing. We can put like Clash of the Titans. Then over here, what we can do is we can again go here, do this curly bracket hashtag, write 4 paragraphs about how feature. Now, just whenever you're done, just make sure to see if everything is, correctly formatted. So we have feature 1, feature 2, and we want to not mention these competitors. We can go ahead and select the knowledge base if we wanted to. I'm just going to leave it like blank just to show as an example. Then we can click on save, and up here we have this Arval blog, and this is where we can enter our features. So we can manually enter it like this, or we can import the content from, a specific link, for example. So for feature 1, I'm just going to put SEO. For feature 2, I'm just going to put design, add article, and then down here under the inputs, we can go ahead and click on generate article. And then you can basically see once you open it up, let's just click on edit with AI. But we have Clash of the Titans, SEO versus design. SEO is the king, leaving design in the dark, boosting visibility, making a significant mark. So basically rhymes with shark all the time, every single sentence, which is pretty funny. And yeah, that's pretty much a little, example of how this works. And again, you can generate like hundreds of different contents just like this based on the assets that you provide this tool with. And the whole key here, again, is just to answer all the questions or the potential questions that your users might have in regards to your product, being the call to action behind these questions. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.